Howdy folks, today's video is going to be your ultimate leather patch guide. There's a lot of stuff to discuss here, so let's dive in. Leather patches are very popular. They are timeless, they look really nice, they're a great way to up the quality perception of your brand. There's so many different options to talk about, so let's get into it. So the first thing to talk about is genuine and faux leather. We've got options for both. We do have a video explaining the faux leather process, so if you're more interested in that, check that out. We'll put a link on this video so you can have easy access to that. In essence, genuine and faux look very much identical. They feel a little bit different. Obviously, genuine leather is going to feel and, oddly enough, smell like leather. Faux leather has a little bit different of a feel, and it doesn't have that genuine leather smell. I know you might be going, who cares? I've had multiple customers ask me about that after they've received their faux leather patch. Patch looks great, but it doesn't really smell like leather. And it won't because it's faux leather. So, main difference between genuine and faux from a very easy boiled down standpoint, faux leather is going to be cheaper, and faux leather does have a little bit shorter of a turnaround time. Genuine leather can take a little bit longer because we're trying to match the leather color as closely as we can. And sometimes those colors aren't readily available, so we have to wait a little bit longer until we can find that color. So genuine will take a little bit longer than faux. With leather patches, the main way that they are done is your logo is recessed into the leather. We do that most of the time with what we call a hot stamp. In essence, we create a brand and we physically brand the patch. If your logo is super duper complex, we may do what we call laser etching on there. But in essence, it is raised and recessed, and the recessed areas will always be a little bit darker. You can add color to leather if you want to, but most leather patches are just no added color, raised, recessed logo. And you can do that several different ways. If you want your logo raised and the background recessed, we can set that up. If you want your logo recessed and the background raised, we can do that as well. Patch shapes for leather. They can be done in many different shapes. Some of the most popular are going to be a circle, a rectangle, and a hexagon. Very popular. That probably covers 95% of the leather patches that we do. You can do die cut shapes for leather within some reason. If it's super complex, we may not be able to do it exactly to the shape, but it doesn't have to be a set circle, rectangle, hexagon. You can do many different shapes, and it just depends upon the shape that you're wanting to do. But the most popular are going to be the circle, rectangle, and hexagon. You can also do faux stitching for the border. So for instance, if you were going to do an iron-on backing and you were going to heat press them, but you want them to look like they're sewn, we can do a faux stitching on the border as well. Leather colors. So depending upon faux or genuine, we have different swatches for the leather color options there. Once we send you a quote, you say, hey, that quote's within budget, and now we're ready to move on to the art phase. At that point, we would be sending you a leather swatch and say, pick which color you want to use for your design. It's not uncommon for a customer to say, well, I like this color and this color and this color. Great, no problem. I can have all of those mocked up with your design so you can see it. We can try to match other colors if you want to, but typically speaking, we do have set swatches, and those are the colors available. If we are doing a kind of color outside of that swatch, it may add some time to the production process. Backing options. So with leather, you can do any of our backing options that we have for our patches. They would be no backing, just what it sounds like. There's nothing on the backside. It's just your patch. Those are typically sewn on, or if you want to try gluing them on or putting them on with rivets or however the heck you want to attach them, that's a good option. We also have adhesive backing. That's typically meant to aid in sewing. I like to call adhesive backing stick and sew. You stick them onto the hat, shirt, jacket, and then you can sew them on without having to hold them in place. We also have iron-on or heat-sealed backing, which is to be used with a heat press. We have another video on heat presses, so you want to check that out, see how that's done, do it. The third option is going to be the hook and loop backing, hook and loop. With that option, you'll have the hook part sewn directly onto the back of the patch. The loop part will come with each patch. So then you take that, take the loop part off. You can sew it on, glue it on, attach it however you want to put it on, and then slap the patch on. Boom, there you go. We do have a 50 minimum per design patch order. Main reason why is because when you drop below that, the overall cost doesn't change much. So if 50 faux leather patches was $250, 25 might be $235. So that's kind of where the sweet spot starts. As you go up in quantity, your unit pricing will come down. So if you put in a quote request for 50, we may send you a quote for 50, 100, and 200, just so you can see that price relation and you can see. And if you did want to do leather splits, leather color splits within that order, you want to order 100 leather patches, 50 will be a light tan and 50 will be a gray. We can do that. Just ask us, let us know. Depending upon how many different color splits, it may have an impact on the pricing, but we can absolutely accommodate that. Generally speaking, our turnaround time for faux leather is about 3 to 4 weeks. For genuine leather, it's more like 4 to 5 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks if that leather color isn't available. Thanks so much for checking out our video today on leather. I know there is a lot to go over, so I hope at least this helped answer some of your questions. Please feel free to email us, call us, put in a quote request. We'll get in touch with you, and then we can cover any other questions that you have. Like, subscribe, share our videos, check out our other videos, and thank you so much. Have a great day.